Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttrading-solutions.com on the 17th of November, Friday, closing out the week. A week on the so give me a thumbs up, and if you have any commentary, put it in the chat. Otherwise, sign up for the newsletter, give me a thumbs up and all that. All right, let's get right into the charts. It was basically, again, I did the thing I did the last video on Tuesday, and S&P is pretty much where it was on Tuesday. Very, very lackluster trading all week. Really, averages have done nothing. Let's go ahead and just get right into the charts right now. Not a lot to talk about. It's going to be a short discussion today. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. And essentially, what you're looking at here is, after the pop from the CPI on Tuesday, we have basically been going nowhere for the last, even after, this is pre-market, so you can see not a lot. 4,500 is the level here. We got 4,450 as a potential peak here, a rally-based drop. Then we have some lower, higher levels up top, and then we have a low, possibly down to 4,400. What's going to move that? Maybe next week we got Nvidia earnings. That's probably the only catalyst next week. We still have a bunch of retail stocks reporting next week as well. We've got, I believe, Lowe's and Best Buy and some of these other ones, Dick's Sporting Goods, which, by the way, we were in Ross stores today. We did pretty well on Ross stores, still in it. Didn't quite hit our target of 132. We got as high as 131 on Ross. I'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, we were involved in that one, as I've been talking about these earnings plays. But all in all, really not a lot to really talk about in terms of the average. You can see all of the averages just sat here. NASDAQ did attempt to break above that high around 16K. Pulled back and just kind of going sideways. Under the surface, lots of stuff going on. Even, everybody's talking about the Russell. Russell kind of looks like it wants to go, but also nothing going on. Also interesting, again, after all of the chatter on interest rates and how rates have fallen off or whatever, here's the chart of the 10-year. We are sitting right where we were back in mid-September. So, again, reality versus perception versus everything else. Yeah, we've come up a little bit. Rates have come from 5 to 4.5, but there's really no change in the outlook here. Technical. I mean, we're just sitting here right where we were. Now even this morning it looked like we were going to break out. Nothing going on there. Even the TLT, which I've been talking about, that can't even break 90. So it's going to be interesting. We got a bond auction next week, by the way, 20-year next Monday, which is going to be interesting. Maybe, lately the bond auctions have been moving the market. So that may be another catalyst on Monday, by the way. There's a 20-year auction. So not really anything other than, again, just more chop. 10-year also, you can see we're sitting right at 445, which is right along these lows here. We probably, if we do fall back down, we still have demand down up here at 429. Dollar also teetering on a new low here. It did break a little bit here on the end. This is also being reflected on some of the moves in the currencies here. So the interesting late day move in some of the in the dollar, which is really interesting here. But all the currencies are again mirroring the same stuff here on the that the dollar is at. Looks like the Aussie wants to break out. Canada also maybe want to break out above 73. So there's some setups here. Silver pausing right at the resistance here. Also kind of held at this big level here. And as the dollar has moved lower, if the dollar does move lower, then silver probably heads back up to this 25 level, I would suspect, right? So we'll see how that goes. And then also gold caught a bid, but again, nothing new here. Just kind of bouncing between these smaller ranges. You know, oil did have a nice, you know, it kind of came down really hard yesterday. This is the contract specific. Now, I have to tell you, we took, you know, we got clipped on this because we were trying to get long with a stop down on the contract, adjusted contract. We were trying to get long down at 73 and then clip that low right there and then took off. The contract specific is actually the one that actually got the better levels. You can see that actually touched that level right there and then rallied. So using the other contract, we actually got clipped a little bit down in here. Took a very, you know, I was only doing 1 micro. So in retrospect, you know, around rollover, it's really challenged because, you know, you've got these, in fact, we got filled right on yesterday, which is the rollover day, where it went from the December to the January. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's going to be interesting if that was actually the low or we rallied back up to 80, which is where we broke down from. That's going to be really coming in this week. But we've got some really nice volatility in oil. So this is probably, if you're not trading oil right now, you know, this is and you're trying to trade the indexes. Clearly, the indexes are just dead for the last, you know, pretty much for the last week, unless you catch a breakout move or something. No pullbacks whatsoever. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Also, nat gas looks like it wants to break down. It's trying to hold here a little bit at 3. It's also very choppy, very volatile. It's going to be interesting to see if we can hold on to this 291 level right here on nat gas. Looks like late in the day also we got a little bit of a pop right around this level, this area right here. I wrote about it over the weekend. We had a 3 and then we rallied and then just fell back right back down again. So it's been very, very choppy. If it can hold on to this, excuse me, 285, then I think we go lower. All the rest of the markets, soybeans, again, back and forth. There's some opportunities coming up on that. And then wheat looks like it wants to break down. So does corn. And that's pretty much, excuse me, that pretty much sums it up for the week. But under the surface, again, lots going on. We're involved. Again, raw stores, I mentioned. We are involved in that. They did give back some, you know, we were as high as 31, as I mentioned. So we gave back some. But this is actually at an all-time high right up here. This is in the options market, by the way. So you can see this is actually right near that's the all-time high right there on raw stores, and that was a big pop on the earnings, big old gap as well on that. We're also looking, you know, Tesla is another one we're looking at, just kind of going through some of this other stuff other than just the futures, because we're, again, as I mentioned, the opportunities right now are more coming from earnings and stocks, which we are very active here at TTS in the options market. When futures are, you know, when you only got a handful of markets moving on the future side and the indexes are doing what you're doing, you have to look elsewhere. That's why it's very important that you diversify what you're doing and look elsewhere. So, yeah, there's a bunch of situations we're looking at next week. We got, again, NVIDIA is the big one next week. And Tesla's been acting very well at these levels. You can see it hit that level right there and rallied almost 10 points, came really close to that level right here. So we've been actually looking at Tesla as, and we've actually done better than all the stocks for the year in Tesla. So that's why Tesla is a great trading stock. If you're not watching that, if you're trading options, this is a great vehicle to take advantage. If you want to learn something like that, you can reach me at support@Transparent Trading Solutions, and we'll show you some of the stuff we're doing there. Okay. Okay, everybody, that kind of sums it up for me. Next week, we got a short week, obviously, with Thanksgiving. Futures markets will be open on Thursday, and we do have a half abbreviated trading session on Friday, incidentally, on the NYSE. So there will be, those half sessions that they do after Thanksgiving. So still lots to do, still lots of opportunities. Hopefully some of you are taking advantage of that. Okay. All right. Again, subscribe to the newsletter, reach me at support@Transparent Trading, or private message me on Twitter, on X, I think they call it now, right? On X, if you have some questions about what we're doing. I've been talking to a lot of people lately, so you can reach out to me, private message me on X if you have any questions as well. By the way, I'm available there as well. Okay. All right. Have a great rest of have a great weekend, and we'll see you on. I will be doing Tuesday and probably doing a Friday, since we do have market open. Okay. All right. See you next Tuesday. Take care. Have a great weekend.